Hello and welcome to the show. Well, listen, I'm so glad to be back and so glad that you could join me today. I'm excited about the show today. We're going to be talking about this is the Power of the Dream series. The Power of Dream series. And we have our guest, Miss Dionne Reeves-Grubbs and Mr. Keeson Scott. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Welcome back to the show. Well, I've been gone for at least two shows, and I want to thank my assistant producer, Tiana Springs, who is great with making sure that everything goes off well when I'm not around. But I do want to share something with you. So within the last couple of weeks, we've had some serious COVID scares. My daughter was ill, vaccinated. She had already received her vaccination before I did, back in February, March, when everything started, the vaccination started talking about it. Anyway, she had a scare with COVID, had COVID symptoms, the whole nine, flu. They kept saying it wasn't COVID. And finally, the doctor said, well, you have COVID symptoms, and I might be COVID, but since the tests are coming back negative, we still want you to stay home and be quarantined. Well, I went to an affair, and there were quite a few people there, and close to about 1,500, almost 2,000 people. Well, that next morning, I woke up, and I wasn't feeling well. Had the symptoms of stomach, can't breathe, chest hurting, sneezing, coughing really bad, just every kind of thing that you could think of. Well, of course, that morning, Monday morning, I went and got tested for COVID. It was negative. However, my symptoms started to persist and had a fever and all of that. Had to be quarantined for 5 days. Went back on the last day, that fifth day, and tested negative again. However, I ended up having a severe case of bronchitis because I'm prone to pneumonia. But I just wanted to share that story with you because it's so important for us to be careful, take care of ourselves, and please wear your mask. I wear my mask everywhere. I'm vaccinated, but still got sick. Now, I'm not saying I did not have COVID, but just think about that. If I had worn my mask with all those people, there could have been a chance that it could really have been COVID. And we're having these COVID symptoms, and some of the tests are coming back false negative. What am I saying to you? I'm saying, please remember, wear your mask, wash your hands, and social distance. Be very, very careful. We're here in South Carolina. The numbers are very high. That's in all the states. And South Carolina is one of the highest states. Florida is one of the highest. New York and all. So we still got to be careful because we're traveling back and forth between states. We're all traveling. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. But I wanted to also thank you for all of your prayers and calls and concerns, your texts, and everybody that really kept me in prayer. I really appreciate it. And again, I'm just giving you this message. This is my message about how to be careful and how to take care of yourself. All right. So without further ado, that was my What's on My Mind. But guess what? What's on my mind now is you're going to meet a fantastic woman. She is one of the country's full-figured top models. She's an actress, a motivational speaker, a coach, a mom. I should have said mom first. And she is the CEO and founder of her own company. Let me introduce you to some. You may already know her. Mrs. Dionne Reeves-Grubbs. Come on out, Dionne.
Hey.
Hey.
you?
Oh, I am well, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm
That's
doing good.
good. That's good. Through it all, and as I was telling folks, it wasn't so much about just telling you what to do. It was just sharing my story because that was a scary time for me. And I'm
Absolutely.
just talking with you, finding out where you are in Alabama, how those numbers are just so high, Dion.
They are ridiculously high. The last we heard, there was like a 90-hour wait at the emergency room. So
Oh, wow.
it's it's pretty bad. We've lost a lot of people. I've lost a lot of people very close to me from COVID, and it's just devastating. It's
Yeah.
really devastating.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you again for being on the show to talk about the
Mhm.
power of dreams because when I had you on last year, you
Mhm.
had just lost your husband, and again, I'm sorry for your loss, and
Thank
and your
you.
children were transitioning, and everything's happening, and now you got college and all these types of things. But I wanted you to come on because people need encouragement
Mhm.
right now, as we are within COVID and people have been quarantined and all the things that happen, dreams are now starting to live. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to talk with you about your story.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Dionne the person and how you really got into modeling and all the things that you do.
Okay. So, Dion, the person, very rare that people ask that question. I would say I'm a survivor of a lot of things. I lost my sister to murder very early on in my life. Everybody has a story,
Mm-hmm.
and mine has been a lot of loss and grief. But I talk about my sister a lot because I didn't have her for very long. I only got to be around her for about 9 months. She lived with her mom, and then she came and lived with us for about 9 months. And then, sadly, after she went back home, she was murdered.
Mm.
But there's one thing that keeps me pushing, like through everything that I've been through, losing my dad, losing my sister, losing my husband. One thing I hear playing in the back of my head all the time is she used to say, Brett, that was my nickname for her. She would say, Brett, it's okay for you to be down. It's okay for you to be down there. But after a while, you got to get back up. Now,
Mm.
she was more colorful with her, but it was, I hear that playing in the back of my head no matter what I go through. It's just, you can stay there for a little while. I understand, but okay, now it's time to get back up and fight
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
one way or the other. So, with everything that I've been through in my life, having children early and, just the things that people go, oh, shame on you for, I fight through it because I hear my sister in the
Mm-hmm.
back of my head
So,
going, okay, Brett.
okay, Brett. So,
Yeah.
Brett, tell me, as we're talking about you growing up, what did you want to do when you were growing up? What did you say? When I grow up, I want to be.
Actually, I wanted to be a police officer.
Really?
Yes. Which is why
Wow.
I went to school. I got a degree in criminal justice. And after my sister passed, I wanted to be more of a victim's advocate because when we had to go through her process with the guy that killed her, and that I remember the advocate being so kind
Mm.
to all of the family members. Like like our story is bad, but there were some bad stories, and she just
Mm.
had this calming voice that just gave them peace, if
Mm-hmm.
just for a little bit. And I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I
Mm.
want to do that. And so I went to school for criminal justice, and unfortunately, I was too old at the time that I went into college to enter the police academy. So, you know,
That cut
life
that
just,
out.
yeah, life took a turn. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, I can roll with that punch too. So it's okay.
Okay, Brad. So
Yeah.
so listen, so Brad. So she
Hmm.
called. What? Why did she call you Brad? That's I want to know.
Because I
What?
was the
Why is your
baby.
name? You were the baby.
I'm the baby. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
So
wow.
I have an older sister, and an older brother still living, thank God. But
Mm-hmm.
my brother and my sister that passed are right there together. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're such a brat," and that's just it just stuck. And
Stuck.
now I'm okay with it because it
Uh,
was something given to me by my sister. So
right. Now,
mhm,
when you talk about those trials and triumphs that you have been through, how
mhm,
have you been able to manage that? I know you hear her saying, Brad, you got to keep on going, you got to get up. But in your mind, when you talk to people,
mhm.
they'll either say, I have done this to stay on task, or I've done that. What has kept you going and motivated?
My children. That's for a while. My babies were all I had. I had my father, I had my husband, but my children were mine. And I would watch my older daughter, Casey, who, as we talked about the last time, she has a very rare disease that, she went through hell as
Mm.
a child. So she has giantism.
Mm-hmm.
So putting her through medications and her body growing quicker than normal, like she was 5 feet tall in kindergarten. So
Mm.
watching her go through it. And yes, she had moments where she would cry and she would just want to give up, but she still kept getting up every morning.
Mm.
And me, if it were me, I would have said, forget this, I'm out. Like, I'm done. But every single morning, whether she cried, whether her body was hurting, she got up. And
Mm-hmm.
and actually named her after my sister. So it's like I kind of have both of them fighting
Mm-hmm.
together to
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, I mean, you went through yesterday, you can get through tomorrow. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I go to. I look at my daughter for inspiration and strength sometimes.
Wow. And
Yeah.
so, and you have another daughter who
Hmm.
just entered the college life. Talk about that,
Absolutely.
because now you empty nest yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. So talk about her entering college, doing everything that's just transpired within the last year.
Oh my gosh, it is extremely scary for me. Um, because she's 18, you want to still, coddle her and make sure everything is all right. But that's a tough little cookie. That is a tough chick. I don't know. Like she went through band camp and she would call and go, "Mommy, I can do this." And I was like, "Okay, baby, if you can do it, that's fine. But I'm still hovering. You call 1 second, mama's on the way." But it's a scary thing to let your baby go, just
Mm-hmm.
your baby girl, to let her go off into the world. But she adjusted quickly, like very, very quickly, like living in the dorms and
Mm-hmm.
getting her schedule together and make sure she's where she's supposed to be when she's supposed to be there. So I couldn't be prouder. I really could
Oh.
not be prouder.
And that's because of you. That's your testament. Because, it shows, and congratulations to you on all your accomplishments. Because when you do what you do,
Hmm.
as you are teaching your children, nurturing them through the years as they are little and growing up, look at what happens. That's the fruits of your labor. So, congratulations to you on that.
Thank
I mean, I know this conversation, I wanted it to be about the power of dreams. But, Dionne, as I talk with you, you are
you.
such an inspiring woman. First of all, I saw you on Time magazine, and I think we have that picture.
In
We
Times
have
Square,
that the
yes.
Times Square. I mean, look what I said, Time magazine. So what? That's coming,
Okay,
girl. That's
okay.
that's
Receive.
coming. Intelligent guest, very inspiring, very happy for you. Thank you, Carmen. This is it. This is what was on Times Square.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Talk about that journey. So wait a minute. Before you do that, talk
Hmm.
about the journey of going into this career as a full-figured model. How did you even start the journey?
So, as when I was 15, I was in the mall. I was, super skinny, little, you could
I
break me
know.
if you blew on it. So,
Yes.
and I started out. My best friend and I were walking through the mall, and the guy was like, "Hey, hey, hey! I need some models I need mannequin models." And I was like, okay. And he was like, "I give you clothes, I give you this, and you give me that." I got you. And I was like, okay. So we started modeling from there. He ended up being a model coach and he taught me how to walk and all of these things. And then in high school, I started modeling in high school, and then life hit, and children and, other stuff. And so getting back into modeling as a plus model was scary. It was really, really scary. And I got back into it by one of my high school friends, Stephanie Love. Stephanie had a fashion show. My daughter was on her dance team and they were doing a fundraiser fashion show. And she had already told me, you already know. Don't try me. You already know. And I was like, girl, these little high school girls and they're in heels this high and I'm not doing all that. No, I'm good. And she was like, Stephanie just has this way about her. You don't talk back.
She snatch you.
Doesn't raise her voice at all. She just kind of gives you this look. She was like, no, you're gonna go. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna go. But if she hadn't done that, then I wouldn't be where I am right now. So thank you, Stephanie. We did a fashion show that time, and then people started saying, oh, you can really walk. And I was like, yeah, just because I'm bigger doesn't mean I lost. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike.
Exactly.
And so I was in a fashion show for a lady named Bo Talley. And I don't know if you know Bo Talley or not, but if you,
yes, I know.
Bo Talley, yes, the gray Barbie.
Yes.
I did a fashion show for her. She came to Huntsville and I did a fashion show for her. I actually walked for a local designer and she was like, hey, come here. And I said, yes, ma'am. And she was like, I'm going to sign you. So I signed with Bo Talley very soon after I came back into the model world. And from there, she took me everywhere. I mean, all over Atlanta. We did Control Magazine. And, there was a lot of pushback. A lot of these designers didn't want plus models. A lot of the shows didn't want plus models. And you just kind of had to fight your way through it. If you want it, you want it. So it doesn't matter what you say, I'm going to go get it. And I remember the Control magazine was the one that broke me because walking in Huntsville, you're Huntsville famous. And so I was like, I got this. People are always clapping for me. I got this. And I got to that casting call, and the guy looked at me and he was like, baby, what are you doing? You marching to Zion? Why are you walking like that? And I was like, what you talking about? I'm the premier model of Huntsville and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I don't care. What are you doing? And so he was like, I need you to go see one of these models and learn how to walk before you come back here. And that's what I did. I went outside and I found the girl that walked for, I think it was Ralph Lauren. And she was walking and she was like, she gave me these pointers and I did it. And then I went in the hallway by myself and I started walking. And from there on, my walk transitioned. It changed from Huntsville famous to walking. There's a difference and people don't really, IG allows people to be whatever and whoever they want to be. But there's technique to this, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. But that day, big wake up call,
wow,
major wake up call. So this has been a journey for me, and I try to teach. The reason that I do coaching is because I never want another model to have happened to them what happened to me. I don't ever, because it was embarrassing.
So having said that, that's why you created Full Figured Fierce, the Fierce brand. I want you to talk about that because that's important, because you work with a lot of young women, and I've seen you, like I said, I've been with you since last year, and all that you've been doing with Instagram and your website and how you work with young people and inspiring young people. Talk about that start as you being the CEO and founder of Full Figured Fierce.
So Full Figured Fierce was really started because of my older daughter, Casey, with the height and the weight. And I would always see, we have the modeling section of it, but the basis of it is because I would always see these young girls coming into my stores, because I work retail a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see their moms say things like, well, why don't you wear this? Their bodies were bigger than what you would expect them to be in high school or middle
Mm-hmm.
school. And the way their moms would talk to them sometimes would irritate me. And I would really want to pull them aside and say
Okay.
some things to them,
Mm-hmm.
because it would just hurt their feelings, and I never want another. I know what that feels like
Me
because I've
too.
been through that with my own in my family, and I saw my daughter going through that in school, and I just never wanted another girl to feel what I felt. So we would start to, with Full Figured Fierce, we show images of plus size women, classy plus size women doing amazing things in life to let them know just because your waist is a little bigger doesn't mean a thing. You're
Mm-hmm.
still fly as all get out. But I can tell you that 24/7. I can write it down for you and send it in a love letter. But until you believe it, everything I say goes in one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but just because it goes in one ear and not the other, repetition works. So we
It
just put
does.
it in their face 24/7. You are beautiful. You are worthy. You are everything. Anything you put your mind to, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let somebody tell you because your waist is bigger that you can't do this. Girl, bye. No, ma'am.
All right. And so having said that, because I wrote down, I was thinking about it, I said, what advice do you have for young women who are
Mhm.
insecure and even women? Because
Yeah.
now, Dionne, you deal with a lot of women who are full figured, and I see them. One minute you see them looking this way, and then the next minute they come out and they're like, I said, all right now. So what advice do you have for women who are insecure and who want to just pop out and go out?
Do it.
All right. Okay, Brad.
That's it. Do it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what somebody else has said. And I understand that we hear programming 24/7, easy breezy, beautiful. And you see these images of women who are this big, blonde hair, blue eyes, and you're taught that is beautiful. But when I tell my fans, my heartbeats, I hate that word, fan and followers. I really hate that word. When my heartbeats need that encouragement, I tell them to write themselves a love letter and do mirror time. Definitely do mirror time. And people think mirror time is something really simple to do, but it's not. So
Mm-hmm.
with mirror time, you have to stand in the mirror and really, really look at yourself. Take all of this off, all of this, take it off. And you have to really, really look at yourself and find one thing that you love about yourself. And then you have to write it down. When you write it down, you have to say it out loud. Your eyes need to see it, your mouth needs to say it, your brain needs to comprehend what you're saying, your ears
Mm-hmm.
have to hear it. So it's repetition. Easy breezy beautiful. Well, I'm easy breezy beautiful. If
Mm-hmm.
that one thing is, I have pretty eyes, then you talk about your eyes 24/7. I have
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous eyes. It doesn't matter. Like I had, oh my God, I was a mess growing up, but I just, I could hear, like my husband was a big part of that too. He would say things like, pick your head up, pick your head up, stop. Because I was beat down so much with repetition of I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't smart enough. But he would say, pick your head up. You got it. You got it. And then here it is again. You got it. Get up. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
Brad. Get
Come on,
up.
Brad.
So it
Right.
was a tag team almost. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you do your mirror time, make sure you're saying it out loud. Put those letters somewhere where you'll find it when you need it. Put it in your sun visor. Write it on your mirror first thing in the morning when you get up. So you're seeing it 24/7. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it. That's just it. There's nothing else you need to do. Just say it over and over and over again. Do it.
Wow. Wow. And I've been listening to some of your and for you to say that, I know that's a major thing for you
Mm-hmm.
because I listened to one of your podcasts, one of your recordings when you
Mm-hmm.
talked about how depressed you had become. and how you had to really talk yourself and work yourself out of that. What is it? And if you can share just a little bit of that, what is it that you told yourself to get up from out of that?
What I was told as a child wasn't true. And because my oldest sister, my mother would compare us a lot. Why can't you be pretty like? Why can't you be smart like? And that wasn't my sister's fault. That was, and I don't even blame my mom anymore. You can't blame somebody for not being taught better. That's just real. And so I would constantly have to tell myself, maybe what she's saying ain't true. You have to question the motives of the foolishness that's coming to you. You have to question everything. Why would they say that to me? What is it about me that's so different from everybody else? And then you start thinking, hey, wait a minute. I'm not that. I don't care what they say. I'm not that person. I'm a good person. I got a good heart. I got a good heart. Like, and so you almost become protective of yourself. Become protective. So that's what I would do. I would tell myself over and over again, they don't know any better. So how can they judge you when they have things of their own that they need to be working on? You worry about the right, wrong stuff.
Exactly. And that's one of the things in our country now, especially as we're dealing with COVID. These young people need to be encouraged and inspired. And just like you say, look in the mirror, start talking to yourself, start doing those things, even as an adult, because we all have layers of things that have happened to us in the past. And that creeps into our relationships, it creeps into our work, it creeps into what we are doing. And so that's why I wanted you to come on, because you have a way of talking, you have a way of being consoling, and you have a way of being inspiring. And just listening to you talk about your heartbeats, love letters, the mirror time, and how you work with people. So one of the other things that I know that I had a conversation with a friend of mine was, I'm too big. Now this is we're talking. I'm too big. What types of clothing should I be wearing? How should I look? Can I wear a tight dress? Can I wear spandex? What advice do you have for women who are plus size women that are saying, I can't wear all that stuff?
Can if you want to. Who's gonna stop you? My only issue with some of the things that these manufacturers make for our bodies, they only make it for, they're just expanding the material. But I always tell people, wear what makes you look good, not what's sold in the store. So I am a firm believer in foundation. Ladies, we got extra, so we got to take care of it. That's all it is. It's not making you, matronly and any of that. We're just taking time and extra care of what God gave us. He gave it to us for a reason, so we got to take care of it.
That's right. It. That's right.
But wear things that make that give you that extra oomph. Don't wear things that will draw attention to you for reasons that you might not be able to handle. And I definitely tell this to my younger girls who are plus size. They want the boys to look at them. They want that same attention. But do you feel good in it? That's the question. Like before you walk out of the door, do you look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh, yes? Yeah. Or do you look at yourself in the mirror and go, you can always tell? That's the telltale sign. If you feel like you gotta pull it down 24/7, it's not for you. It's not for you. And don't be afraid to step out and do what you want to do. If everybody else isn't wearing a long skirt with the high split, you wear the long skirt with the high split. You can do it.
Exactly.
Just make sure you're taking care of the extra God gave you.
That's it. Well, listen, we're coming back. We are going to come back. We're already at the halfway mark. So Dionne, I'm telling you, great conversation. Dionne, thank you so much. Just hold on. We're going to come back. And so we're going to take a break. And
Okay.
you all have been watching The Tammy Show with Dionne Reeves-Grubbs. Listen, we'll be right back.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I have, as I said, one of the country's top full-figured models. She's also an actress, motivational speaker, media coach, and mother, CEO, and founder of her company, Full Figured Fierce. Ms. Dionne Reeves-Grubbs, thank you for joining me, Dionne. You know, I'm not sure if Keyshawn is going to be able to sign in, but we're going to keep this interview going because I have enjoyed being inspired by you. This is all about empowering, you know, the power of dreams. What were your dreams? And I'm not going to say what were your dreams then. What are your dreams now?
My dreams now, I want an Oscar.
All right. All
I'm
right.
I want an Oscar. That's what I want. I want an Oscar. I'm gonna put in the work to get it.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it because that's why we're on the second half so we can talk about this. And I am going to show you a picture. Dionne, your mic is hitting you.
Oh,
But
there it goes.
there we go. Black Shiro on
Yes.
Demi TV. How
Yes.
about that?
Is
Look at Miss Dionne. We got all these beautiful pictures. So Dionne, talk about this process because becoming an actress, being an actress is definitely a journey and a process. How did that happen?
God, literally, literally, it fell in my lap. So, Demetrius Malone is an amazing director and writer, and he was working on the series of Black Shiro. I met him actually doing a background, like just helping in the background with Demi from Demir Cosmetics. I was helping them. And so we introduced ourselves and I didn't know anything about, Demi TV at the time. And he reached out to me a couple of weeks later and he was like, "You're Dionne." And I said, "Yes." And he was like, "I need to talk to you." I said, "Okay." Like, what did I do? And so we had a meeting and he started talking to me about the show and what his vision was. And he had actually given the part to someone else. And that apparently didn't work out, and for whatever reason. And he was like, "You know what? Everything that I'm looking for in this person, it's you. So you want it?" And I was like, yeah. So, it's going to be amazing. The one thing that I love about this upcoming show is, you know how normally when you see a plus model or a plus size woman in TV, they're always holding the bags for the younger counterparts. They're, very sloppy, or they make them to look so down and out. That's not this. I'm a superhero. And when I mean superhero, like I am taking up for people who can't take up for themselves. That to me this is a dream come true, because he's very adamant about showing plus size women in a positive, beautiful light. Like down to, just every little detail. He is so involved in making sure that we look a certain way, that we're presented a certain way to the public. He does not want any foolishness, and I am so here for it. I don't know what to do with myself.
Well, Dionne, so now you are playing a Black Shiro. Now, as we're looking at the picture, there's a lot of black and a lot of red. Is there some? I'm not going to say goriness, but is there some violence in it? Is there some scariness, or is it more suspenseful?
She is one bad chick.
All right.
Listen, this is not for
The faint.
No. This series is gonna touch on so many things outside of me being plus size. It's gonna touch on so many topics that are going on today. I can't really tell you.
Right, I know.
And I want to tell you, like,
no, don't. You
Oh,
already
no.
signed that non-disclosure, so you know.
Oh, man.
No.
But it touches on so many really serious points. Like, this is not. It's a comedy, drama, suspenseful thriller, but it's really, really. It's gonna touch you. It's going to really, really touch you, and it's going to make you think about some things that you don't really, it's going to make you think differently or question your views right now about things that you think are just, that's just it. No.
But now listen, as we were talking earlier in the first part of the show, you talked about being a victim's advocate. And look at what God has put you in to do now, which is to be that black shero for people. I'm excited about it. When is it coming on the air?
So we're starting productions very soon, and it should be out early 2022.
Wow. I can't wait. Now listen, if y'all need an extra, just call me. I'll fly into Alabama.
Don't play.
I'll fly in. You just tell them. Y'all need an extra. Okay. Maybe I'll be a girlfriend.
Think it into existence.
How about that? Your Oscar is on the way. So how is it now? Are you getting ready with your scripts? I mean, how are you getting ready for preparing for this role?
So, I went through a major overhaul. Like, I had a total dental reconstruction. Like, the workouts, they are, because you got to be strong doing the things that I'm going to be doing. So it was hard. Like, the dental work was, oh my God, it was so hard, but it was so worth it because it was just worth it. That's the most I can say. It was so worth it to be able to now smile more at people, and it was important to the show that I was able to do that too. So it's just so many blessings wrapped up in this.
Wow.
That's all I can say is, God, thank you.
Oh wow! I can't wait to see it, and I saw the clips of Demi TV, and I can't wait to be a part of that as well. And hopefully, I'll get to meet him and have him on the show, where you all will come on as a cast and talk about the show. That's what I'm looking forward to. But
amazing.
And how is it? So how is it working with this cast for you?
Oh my gosh. So I'm really the newbie. These actors and actresses are it's like when we're rehearsing, I just kind of get lost in watching them perform, because I'm like, oh wait, I had a line. I'm sorry. Here I go. I'm back. But they are so absolutely amazing, and it's like when I'm watching them perform and we're running lines. I literally get lost, especially with the young man that plays my son, Trip. Oh my God.
Wow.
That young man, he gonna get an Oscar before me.
well, listen, you might get it at the same time. So, having said that, you are able to glean so much
Mhm.
from these actors who are, as you said, a little bit more experienced than you.
Absolutely.
But that's the beauty of it, because now you're able to develop. So as
Mhm.
you're developing your character, what is the one thing that you say that might be a similarity in the character to you between Black Shiro and you? And your name, by the way, is Tammy.
Tammy. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
it's Tammy
Um,
Townsend.
yes, it is. The funny thing is, there are so many parts to Tammy's life that mimic my own. Um, from the
Don't say it. Don't say it.
the things that she goes through in her relationship with
Mm-hmm.
her children, with her children's father. It's just it's so many things that I can already connect with. And when I'm running lines with some of my cast members, they're like, "You sure you never acted before?" And I'm like, "Child, listen, this has been my life. This is easy for me. Give me the stuff where I got to do the high kicks and all of that stuff, because that's the stuff that's gonna kick my butt. But this right here, got it,
And,
got
and
it."
and so, what is the one thing that you find most challenging with playing Tammy?
Um, the most challenging, I would think, is, you have to get out of your head. Anytime you're doing something new, you have to get out of your head of, am I going to be able to pull this off? Is it going to be believable to people? Are they going to really connect with the character? And I want them to connect with her, because I know so many women who are in Tammy's position right now. I know women who have been through Tammy's position right now. And they wanted to break loose and become a Black Shero too. And it's just, that's the part that I worry about sometimes. But then, like, my cast members and Demetrius are like, "Girl, snap out of it. You good." And
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it's so much encouragement coming from the people that are working on this team and in this cast. You cannot question yourself, because they're always empowering me. And
Mm.
sometimes the person who's always empowering people need that
Need
too.
it.
And
Exactly.
they do that, like, and they're not afraid to tell me, "Okay, so you can try this, work on that." And it's no drama, it's no shade, it's no pettiness. It's like God's hands are all over this.
And it's
That's
like
all it is.
family. It's
It's
family.
family already.
And you know what, Dionne, the one thing that I hear you say, and you haven't said it, but what
Mhm.
I hear is that you're very humble. And so in being humble, of course you are going to say, are people going to like me? Am I doing okay? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? But yet still, as you said, you are an empower that needs to be empowered as well.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we need to, as we are going through all these emotions with life and all, that we need to understand, even though some of us are empowering, just like with me, I need
Mhm.
that encouragement as well.
Absolutely.
We all need that encouragement. So, Dionne, what is your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do, it honestly and truly, is to get in my car and turn my music up and drive. That's my peace. That's
Hmm.
where I can think about everything and get it out of my head. If I need to scream, I'm in the car by myself, so it doesn't matter. The music's up and the windows down, and it's just so freeing to me. That's my one thing. My husband used
Wow.
to say I was a thug, because some of the music I listen to, people probably wouldn't imagine that I listen to, but I do. I
I
do.
know, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So, Dionne,
Mhm.
we have our next guest. Mr. Scott is getting ready to join us. But before
Yes.
you leave, I want to know,
Mhm.
what are the three words that describe you?
Determined, unstoppable, dope.
All right, determined, unstoppable, and dope. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Mrs. Dionne Reeves-Grubbs. Dionne, thank you so much for being on the show. Listen, all right, now remember what I said.
Yes, ma'am.
Cast, I want to interview the cast, want to interview Demetrius, the whole nine. So when it comes out, 2022, Demi TV. And
Yes.
Tiana, let's show her information before we get out of here so that everyone will know how to get in touch with
Yeah.
her. All right, Dionne, I love you, my darling. Thank you so
Love
much.
you.
Thank you for being on the show. And God
Absolutely.
bless you. Give everybody, tell Casey I said hello. Tell everybody
I
I said
will.
hello.
I
Okay.
will.
Love you much.
Love
Okay.
you.
All right. All right, listen, you heard it right here. Dionne Reeves-Grubbs. I tell you what, one of the country's top full-figured models and actress. So now I get the opportunity to bring him out. And yes, he is the heartbreak. I tell you, the number one heartbreak coach. He is the CEO of his own company. He travels all over the world. He's on everybody's network, on CNN, NBC, you name it. and Keyshawn, don't kill me if I left one out. But come on out, Mr. Keyshawn Scott.
Hey, how you doing? How's everything?
Everything's going well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm doing good. I love your energy. I love that painting in the back.
Oh,
Right?
thank you. Thank
I'm,
you.
I'm feeling good. How you feeling today?
I am doing well. Listen, thank you for your well wishes. And I know it's been a while for us to get together,
I
but
know.
see, God put it together. So listen, we don't
Absolutely.
have a lot of time because I know you were getting off of one, coming on
Yeah.
to another, and you've been talking the whole time. So I want to find out from you. I said this is about the power of dreams. Let's
Mhm.
talk about your dream. What did you dream about when you were young?
Whew, that's an excellent question, man. Because sometimes I kind of go back, and see where God brought me from, and it's such a beautiful progress or transition. When I was young, I used to dream about being successful, right? And I used to dream about being rich and money. But as you get older, your dreams change. And my dreams came more about serving people, being a vessel of hope, loving people, meeting people where they're at, and just giving back in any aspect. What we do on social media, giving back with our words, our time,
Mm-hmm.
helping people in any kind of way. And I think my dreams developed into someone who really want to serve and give back. So my dreams definitely did change.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, Dion. We were talking about what a dream was then and what it is now.
Yeah,
Because now you still have more dreams to fulfill. So
yeah.
I want to talk to you about becoming this number one heartbreak coach. Talk about a heartbreak coach, the number one heartbreak coach.
Man, I've been through some mess. I've been through some mess that became my message, and
Mm,
going through that process really changed me, and it really made me understand relationships better, love better, who I am, who I wasn't. Because actually, the heartbreak kind of took me through a transition from a boy into a man, right? And a lot of times as men, we think that we got relationships and love all together, and we don't. It's not until you're broken and you're refined and you're hit down to your lowest that you say, you know what, I need some help. And only by the grace of God that really took me from brokenness to wholeness to really see my mistakes, learn from them, and become what I am now, a husband and actually a
mm,
father to a beautiful 5-year-old girl. So I help people get over breakups that weren't worth saving. I went through my
mm-hmm.
own process. So I just help people go through the same entire, process because it's difficult. It's not easy. It's stressful. You might feel down one day, up the next day, but it's a transition to wholeness.
Yeah, it is. And so, Keyshawn, as we're talking, I got a message.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Why is somebody asking that question? They heard my accent?
I heard it.
I'm from Trinidad. And I'm from Trinidad. That's my accent.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I'm from Charleston, so if I start coming out with the gullah, then you'll understand why, right?
That's all right. We go from two different parts of the world.
how,
We can just let
how,
it. We can just
how,
speak.
how about that? How about that?
Uh,
So, as we're talking about it, what made you decide to write the book?
yeah.
You have your book, and Tiana, can you just pull that book up and show everyone, please? Um, your book, because we even have videos for you, but we're not going
Okay.
to have all this time. So,
Yeah.
what the Heartbreak Workbook? Talk about that.
Yeah. The Heartbreak Workbook was a workbook. I actually wrote the outline back in 2011 when I was going through my own heartbreak and my own healing process. So it starts with forgiveness, forgiving yourself, accepting your mistakes, accepting your wrongs, changing the way you feel about yourself, and also accepting the pain. A lot of times when we're going through heartbreak or difficult transitions in life, it's hard to accept the fact that we really have to go through it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be messy. It's not going to look cute. It's not going to look nice, but you have to go through the process to elevate yourself and to come out stronger. So I wrote the book to help people. It's a workbook to actually work on yourself, by yourself, for yourself. Because a lot of times we don't work on ourselves. We
That's
get out
so
of a
true.
relationship, we jump into a next. We get out of a relationship, we jump into our next. Sit your butt down, grab a pencil or a pen, and work on yourself and create the best version of yourself.
That's right, and I can testify to that. I'm
Yeah,
divorced, and I haven't gotten into another relationship, and that's been years ago, so that's fine.
that's fine. That's fine.
And as I'm talking with you and listening to you, how inspiring you are, and with all of your books, I want you to talk about your coaching program and the YLE Academy.
Yeah, Wiley Academy is like a membership site. We're actually working on an app that should be available within a couple of weeks to a month. The coaching program is actually a 12-week program that we help people actually go from brokenness to wholeness, to heal. Because a lot of times, for me, I didn't have a coach, and I know how hard it is to transition and to heal on your own, with your own thoughts in your own minds, with your own feeling. So it's always good to have someone who's been through that storm and can hold your hand and walk you through that process as well. So that's what we do.
Okay, well, listen, I want to make sure we get the information for that. When we're talking about your journey, you said your journey was from heartbreak and trying to get to wholeness. What is the one advice that you would share with folks that are going through right now? They're saying, you know what, he's saying a bunch of stuff. I'm not
Mhm.
listening to that. What do
Yeah.
you say to that?
I will say you have to don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. A lot of times we want immediate results. We live in a microwave society where we want things now. You can just see by TikTok. TikTok is 15-second videos, right? Everything is getting shorter and shorter. So people want things now because they're becoming impatient. So what we need to do, you need to slow down and figure out what it is that you really want. Because if you want to stay broken, that's fine. You can do all that. It takes no work to stay broken. Just stay broken, cry all you want, be upset, think that people's going to feel sorry for you. And a lot of people's not, because they got their own problems to worry about. But what you need to do is that you need to start working on yourself and healing, and stop rushing the process, but take your time to know who you are, love yourself, heal, forgive yourself, so you can be stronger for the next relationship, or if you want a relationship. But not even about the relationship. Be stronger for yourself. Be
That's
stronger for
it.
you. You're the best. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. You know what? But one of the words that you keep saying is healing. Some
Mhm.
folks are saying, well, how am I going to heal? What does that really mean? What does that word really mean when
Yeah.
you are talking with your clients?
Healing is whatever it's stopping you from loving yourself and becoming the best version of who you are. Heal from that. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be a heartbreak or a breakup it could be a family problems, it could be mom, dad, brother, sister, a death, or whatever it may be. Whatever is stopping you from giving your whole self in life, from becoming your best self, the best version, whatever's stunting that growth, heal from it.
And then as you are a man, men
Mhm.
have a different way of healing. Women have a different way of coping with things. When
Yeah.
you talk with a man about heartbreak, we don't think of men crying over breaking
Mhm.
up. Some people don't. I've seen men cry before over
Mhm.
breakup. What do you say to your men, and what advice would you have to men right now who are going through who are going through the breakup, the heartbreak?
How much time we got? Because for men, it's gonna take some time.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
We gotta
That's my
go part
point.
two for
That's
this. But
yes.
I do get some men right in the program, and a lot of men do cry. But men have to get to a certain point to say, you know what, I can't do this on my own. I have to let my ego and my pride aside in order to ask for help, in order to get through that process. So for men, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to take accountability and responsibility for your part. If you cheated, if you did something wrong, or if you didn't do something wrong, it's okay to say, you know what, I can't do this on my own. And in order to become a better man, I need help. So it's okay to ask for help. It's not weak, it's not unmanly. It's just you choosing to be your best version of yourself for your life.
Wow. Listen, we don't have a lot of time now. You're gonna have to come back. You already know that, right, Keith?
Let me know. Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll make
we're
the
gonna
time.
we're gonna have to work it out where you're gonna come back, even if it's next year, because you'll
Uh-huh.
have some other things to share with us. So my question to you is, what's next for you? What's next for Keyshawn?
What's next? Well, I have a book coming out. It's called Bits and Pieces. It's 50 quotes for a soul crushing breakup or divorce. Working on my new show, my podcast, and just really getting out there and just delivering a lot of information to people in different outlets. We're on social media. We live in a very digital and internetary world, so everything is digital. So just pushing out as much content and information that could feed the people.
And that's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Networking.
Networking. So, what 3 words describe you, Keyshawn?
I will say Karen, faith, and determination.
Determination, caring, faith,
And
and
determination.
determination. And when you come back on, you're going to have another 3 words to think about.
Sounds good. You give me time. I got homework to do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I got homework. I came on here as a guest and you're giving me homework.
Hey, listen, I love you. Hey, listen, I want to thank you so much for just taking these few minutes out to really talk with us and for me to be able to introduce you to the Tammy Show audience.
Let me know whenever you guys want to do it again.
Hey, I want you to come on, man, because you got a lot to tell us. You got a lot to share. And what you're doing, man, continue to do it. God continue to bless you and your family and your baby girl, that 5-year-old. I have a daughter, so I know what that's like. Yeah, daddy's girl. Daddy's girl.
That's my
Yeah, listen, go ahead and get you something to eat, because I know you probably hadn't had dinner yet, as I haven't as well. But listen, again, Keyshawn, thank you so much for being who you are. And God bless you.
God bless you.
I really appreciate it. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so that's Keyshawn, Mr. Keyshawn Scott. I tell you what, author, public speaker, heartbreak coach, and we had an opportunity to talk with my favorite friend, Miss Dionne Reeves-Grubbs, who was on the show with us. I tell you what, it's great to be back on the show again. Thank you for your prayers and all as I was going through for the last couple of weeks and hanging in there with me. I just want to take time to just say thank you. We can't ever continue to say thank you enough. And I want to thank, of course, producer Alicia and, of course, my assistant producer, Miss Tiana. Thank you so much, Tiana. Please remember to subscribe to the Tammy TV Show YouTube channel. And remember, let's be a blessing to someone today and every day. I want you all to have a great week, a wonderful week. And remember, wash your hands, wear your mask, and social distance. I can't say it enough. Wear your mask, social distance, and wash your hands. Next week, we're going to start the month out with the power of advocacy. And so you're going to meet some folks who are really in advocacy, some guests who are coming on, and they're going to talk about why it's important to be an advocate. You heard Dionne talk about being a victim advocate. So remember, next week, I want to see you next Thursday. And remember, subscribe to the Tammy TV Show. Take care of yourself. Remember, be a blessing to everyone each and every day. Love you much. Bye-bye.